So you might find your way to your breath, softening or closing the eyes. And let's build that resource of equanimity inside by balancing our inhale and our exhale. So we're going to begin breathing together. You might be a person who has a big breath capacity. And so if a 4 count of breath is too short for you, you're welcome to find a number that works for you to breathe in and breathe out. For most people, a count of 4 is often good. For some of you, it might even feel a little long. So if you need to do a shorter breath count, you're also welcome to do that. So let's go ahead and exhale all the breath. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Continuing. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Please keep that going silently in your mind. And just one more round quietly in your mind. And then as you let that breath go and just return your breath to neutral, just notice the effect of 10 rounds, more or less, of sama vritti. Sama means same, and vritti means thought wave or consciousness. So we're working to stabilize the thought waves into a calm place. So we're going to continue to use this breath as we move into our asana practice. So if 4 felt like a good number for you, then we'll hold on to that. If you were doing 3 or a number less than 4, you can hold on to that. If you were doing a number greater than 4, you're welcome to hold on to that. And then we'll use it as we move into our practice. Go ahead and let the hands float in prayer over the heart so that you feel that sense of union, right? Coming into oneness or into balance as the 2 hands press equally at the heart, finding that center midline of the body. Take a long, slow, deep breath in here. A long, slow breath out. And maybe ask yourself, what helps you stay in balance or stay in your center? And just notice if you can make that into a single word. And then let's use that word. So every time our hands return back to the shape, we can come back to that inner sense of, this particular thing that really helps me come into balance in myself. We'll come back to that intention again and again in our practice this morning. Let's do 1 Om just to open our practice, taking a long, deep breath in. And letting your head tip forward and your eyes begin to open. Let's lower the hands into the lap. And let's gently begin to roll around. So maybe sitting in the middle of your chair so that you've got space so that you can roll around. Long, full breath here. And then give yourself permission to move your body however feels good for you, right? So just finding what helps you, what movements, what areas really want some more balance, right? So there might be places that have a lot, places that feel a little sluggish or a little tired. And let's just move into those places with some ease and some grace here. One more full deep breath. And when you feel ready, let's start moving into the shoulders, since the shoulders were a place that wanted some additional movement. Rolling around. And then just take one shoulder, just take the right shoulder. Hi, good morning, right shoulder, how are you? Rolling around. Go ahead and roll the other way. And then, good morning, left shoulder. Hi, how are you? What do you need from me? Rolling that left shoulder around. And then perhaps going the other way. And then let's take them both. Roll them up toward the ears, slide them down the back. Really getting some range of motion for these shoulders, finding that equilibrium or that balance with both shoulders moving symmetrically. One or two more slow breaths here. And now if you are having shoulder challenges, you might just keep this as a slow, gentle roll, just working really mindfully. If placing hands on top of the shoulder heads feels appropriate for your shoulders, let's go ahead and roll around as if the elbows now are the place initiating the movement, and the shoulder heads are going to get a bigger opening, also opening up our lymphatic centers and the armpits as we move into this deluge of fall weather. Right? Want to make sure that we're doing a lot of work for our immune system to keep everything healthy. If you didn't already reverse directions in your shoulder circle, let's do that. And some people might want to now take the arms all the way around, increasing that circulation, increasing blood flow all the way down through the arms, to the fingers, through the wrists. So spread the hands out wide. Take some big circles around and then reverse direction if that's appropriate, or keep hands on the shoulder heads if that feels more helpful for you. Big range of motion, just your biggest range that is appropriate for you this morning. One more full breath. And then let's take that down and roll around the upper body one more time. And now see if you can really get the shoulders involved. So not just rolling from the head, but you're rolling down from the shoulders. You're rolling up and around as if waking up this whole upper thoracic region of the chest, of the heart, of the mid back and upper back. Go ahead and roll the other way. So you're just loosening everything up here. Anything that's gotten tight. Bringing a little balance. Let's go ahead and come all the way back into center and take just the head around now. So taking the head gently around in circles and just noticing if loosening up the shoulders also helps loosen up your neck a little bit. Some common culprits for tension. Let's roll the other way if you haven't already. And I love the practice that when you discover tension in a particular area, that you can just stop and give yourself to it. Move some breath into those tight areas. Hi. I see that you have an abundance of tension here. Breathing long, slow breaths. And then maybe one or two more areas. And then finding any place that feels good. I'm just going to go get my blocks here. Maybe one more slow, sweet breath. And then coming all the way back into center. You didn't know that I had eagle feet on today or chicken feet socks. One of my yoga students gave me these awesome socks. So I'm glad we're recording today so that you can see my awesome chicken feet today. Their little plumage at the bottom. So if you have, you don't have to have chicken socks, but if you have a block, if you have anything that you can put in between your knees, maybe even a jacket or a rolled up towel or anything that's handy, tennis ball, whatever you might have sitting around, hopefully not a coffee cup that's filled with something. But let's go ahead and just engage the inner thighs here. And we're gonna push into whatever you have, right? So depending on the width, and just pushing in with the knees, and there's going to be little pulses of the inner thighs. So, okay, I'm thinking about your psoas, I'm thinking about your lower back. So I'm using my hands to show you what my knees are doing. My knees are pushing into that block and then releasing, pushing in and releasing, right? So we're doing a few more of those, push and release, just sort of waking up the adductors in there. And then slowly release that. Now go ahead and take your block off to the side. You're going to take fists. Oh, I should have suggested that, excuse me. When we come back to the next side, you can always put fists in between your knees and push against your fists too. It's a good idea. But now we're going to take the fists and bring them to the outside of the knees. And then you're going to push out, push your knees out into your fists, but your fists are holding you in. So push out as if you're pushing against something, and you're gonna, if your hands weren't there, your knees would fly open, so push against it and then release. Just little pulses. Push and release. One more time. Push out and release. Nice. We're gonna come back to that block or prop in between your knees one more time. We're gonna use that drawing into that center or that midline to really help us come inward, and then we're going to twist. So our low body stays really grounded and centered, but our upper body can move. So go ahead and twist and look back behind you. Long, slow, easy breath as you twist behind you any amount. Looking back behind you with your head as well. Exhale, come on back into center. Make sure your low body is still that stable, grounded place that you can then twist from. It's not moving, so your knees aren't going with you. They're hugging into that center midline so that you have the freedom and the liberation to twist your upper body, but keep that lower body stable. See if you can relax your shoulders. Let your shoulders slide down. Nice, Jim. One more full breath. And then come on back into center. We're going to keep those adductors working. Keep hugging into the block with the knees. We're going to take the hands down and we're going to slowly stretch over to one side using our obliques or our side body. We're going to stretch up and do the second side. So you can make this movement really tiny, right? It could just be here, just a little tiny drop, or you could make this a nice big movement. And let's just warm up our side body. So warming up our core. Dropping over, over. So warming up the side body. One or two more times, rocking in each direction. And lift, and drop, and lift. So you can feel how we come off of our center and then we come back to center. How we come off of our center and we come back to center, right? So our process of equanimity, it's not that we can always stay in our center, but the idea is how do we return back to it again and again? Let's go ahead and take your, if you have a block, we're going to put a block out to that left side. If you don't have a block, you can just simply hold on to the left side of your chair or your seat, and that will be sufficient also. Back up just a little bit more. We're going to take that right arm all the way up and over and come into a deep side opening. You might stay there or your hand might touch that block. As you revolve open, both sit bones stay on the earth, right? So keeping that low body as the center fulcrum point for that tipping scale that goes from side to side, right? Helping us keep balance and equilibrium. Go ahead and look down toward the earth. And then inhale, look up towards sky. One more time, look down toward the earth. And inhale, look back to center. You're going to take that arm and let it guide you. If you have a block, you can take it up and overhead if that's possible. And then the second side. Otherwise, you're just holding onto your seat and that left arm is coming over the ear. If shoulders are challenged, you can always have the hand on top of the shoulder head as well. And we're stretching out, opening up that side body. So the bottom shoulder is relaxed. The top shoulder is pulled down away from the ear. And then our head moves. So we're exhaling, looking down toward the earth. And inhaling, looking up toward the sky. Try that 2 or 3 more times. Exhale, look down. Inhale, looking up. And one more time. Exhale, look down. And then come back into center. Top arm is going to bring us all the way up. You can take that block with you and then bring it in between the knees one more time. We're going to do just a little continuation of that core work. So we were just working the side body. We were both working it and then stretching it. So now let's work the abdominal muscles. So we're going to pull the abdominal muscles in and make sure there's room behind you, that your seat back isn't right against your back. You've got some room to tip forward and back. So again, that low part of the body, I'm imagining a traditional old-style scales, right? Where you had a fulcrum or a centered place, and then there was one place tipping, the scales one way or the other. So right now, your lower body is that center fulcrum, and now we're going to tip forward and back, right? So for just a moment, find yourself balanced, shoulders over your hips. You're feeling yourself in balance. Everything is easily aligned. You're going to turn on your abdominal muscles and take yourself out of balance as you lean back any amount. So the more you lean back, the more it's going to challenge your core. And then we're going to inhale and come forward. Come back to balance. Exhale, take it back. Abdominal muscles turned on. Inhale, come on up. So you're squeezing that block or whatever object it is, or maybe just squeezing your knees together as you come back. So your low body is helping you participate in that balance. Inhale. 2 more times. Exhale back. So our little chair crunches. Inhale up. And last time. Exhale, lean back and just hold. Maybe pulse hands. Hang out. Keep the abdominal muscles turned on. So we're really working the transverse abdominis. And then inhale. And as you come up this time, stretch the arms overhead. Lace the hands together. This is where I wish I had a camera person so that my hands could be in the shot. And then we're going to exhale, stretch over one more time, opening up side body. Inhale, come back into center. Exhale, other way. Inhale, come back to center. And now we're going to release the arms and we're going to float forward and we're going to come halfway. And then inhale, arms sweep up and overhead. One more time, we're going to exhale, squeeze knees together, and we're going to float and bring our upper body toward a 45-degree angle, arms back like wings. And then inhale as we come up. One last time, drawing the ribs in, so keep your core strong as you hinge forward from the waist, so you're leaning forward. And then inhale, fly the arms open. Exhale, lower the arms down. Nicely done. Let's come back to our balancing breath and bring it with movement. So very simply to start off with, we're going to inhale for a 4 count, bring our arms overhead, and then we'll exhale on a 4 count, bring our arms back down. So as you're ready, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take that same adherence of breath and movement and bring it into our sun salutations. This is a great time. We're going to do some standing balancing work. So if you want to take off your socks, whether they are goofy chicken feet or not, you're welcome to take off socks or leave your socks on if that's helpful for you. We're going to go ahead and come to standing and come to stand behind our chair. This is where I'm going to adjust my camera one more time. Let's see if that'll do it. All right, I think that did it. So in the sun salutations that I often teach, you can use the back of your chair where the arms are coming up and you're folding and hands to the chair. Or a second variation is to use the seat of the chair, and I'll just show you that sideways. So it looks like this, and then as you fold forward, you bring your hands to your seat so that you're more in a tabletop position. So you're welcome to do either one, either version. I'll do the version with the seat, with the back, touching the back, so just in case anybody watching at home wants the first variation before the deeper variation, I'll do this one first, and then I'll do with the seat back on our second round of sun salutations. And we'll see if we can bring the sun out after this rainy deluge this morning. So bring the hands in prayer and finding, again, that word or that intention that is a resource for you that helps you come back into balance. And just breathe that in for a breath. And let's use our 4 count to lift the arms overhead, just like we did seated. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then exhale, bring hands to the seat back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. From here, you're going to lean back, curl back. 1, 2, inhaling. 3, 4, and then exhale. 1, 2, as you come into your downward dog. 3, and 4. We're going to try to breathe 4 long cycles of breath, and just to show you from the side, so down dog looks like this. And so we're breathing 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, slow breath. Inhale. 1, 2. Inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. On your next inhale, walk forward for 1, 2, 3. Arms come all the way up overhead, and 4. And then exhale, arms come down. 2, 3, and 4. Nice. So we're going to do that one more time, and then I'll do it showing with the seat, using the seat back. So again, trying to find that 4 count, the samavritti breath, or that balanced, slow breath with movement. Again, inhale the arms. 1, keep inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, arms down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands to the chair, lean back. 1, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, walk back. 1, 2. Exhaling. 3, and 4. And 2 cycles of breath here. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Keep inhaling. 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk forward. Inhale. 1, 2. Arms up. 3, 4. Arms down. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so I'm just going to turn my chair around to do a deeper version. You're welcome to keep your chair where it is, or to turn it around and come into a deeper version of down dog. Hands in prayer, find that intention that helps you find inner balance. And again, marrying our samavritti breath to our sun salutations or our hatha yoga practice. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe hands to the seat. Inhale, lift your head and heart for 4, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale, walk back dog pose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 breaths in dog pose. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk forward towards your chair. 1, 2, and we're going to come to standing. 3, and 4. Arms come overhead. Exhale. 1. Arms down. 2, 3, and 4. How are we doing on that one? Are we doing okay? Can we do a variation here? So options for variations. You might want the chair higher so that you have a little bit more support that's higher for you as you step one leg back. We're coming into some lunges to help stretch out the psoas. Second option for people whose balance feels stable here coming from this tabletop position is to come from tabletop and then move into here and move into some lunges. So this is going to be a deeper stretch for your back and for your hips and calves. So just decide for yourself what's going to be a better level for you. We're going to start at standing. And then we're going to lean forward. So if you're holding onto your seat, you're maybe at a 45-degree angle. If you're all the way down flat on the seat, you might be at that tabletop angle. And let's everybody step your right leg back. So a nice big step back. And then we're going to use that Samavritti breath, and we're going to inhale, lift the back heel on a count of 4, all the way up, 2, 3, to your toe. And then we're going to exhale down, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do that again. So inhale, 1, come up your tiptoe, 2, 3, 4, and then roll down, 1, 2, exhaling, 3, 4. So the focus is on breath and movement. Inhale, one more time, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale, roll down, 1, keep exhaling, 2, 3, and 4. Leave the heel down, and we're going to see about bending the front knee. So you're stretching into that back calf, perhaps stretching the hip. Anyone who wants to bring one hand or both hands to your hips to challenge your balance in this lunge pose, you're welcome to do that. Anyone who wants a lot more stretch, one arm or both arms, come up, and we're in our warrior one pose, bending the front knee, stretching and opening up. One more full breath, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Let's go ahead and bring the hands back to your seat or to the back of your chair and step forward. Second side, go ahead and step back with that left leg. So nice big step, and remembering that our hips and shoulders are our fulcrum point or our balancing place. So we're not opening or twisting. The hips and shoulders are straight ahead here. And then we're going to count to 4 with the breath and inhale, lift toward that back toe. 1, inhale, 2, 3, all the way up into the tiptoe, and 4, exhale, slow. 1, 2, as you roll down through the foot, 3, and heel touches on 4. Inhale, coming back up. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, tiptoe, 4. Exhale, roll down. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave the heel down, and now bend your front knee. If you notice that your knee is going beyond your front foot, it means you need to take a deeper stance. Maybe inch those front toes forward so that as you bend the knee, it's coming more or less over that front ankle. Option 1, keep your hands at your chair. Option 2, one hand or both hands. Come, Jackie Ash, welcome Jackie, glad you could make it this morning. Option 3, one arm or both arms comes overhead and you're in Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1 pose. Take one more slow, deep breath here. And then exhale, release the arms down. Step your back foot back in. Come on up, stand all the way up, hands on the hips, and let's just roll around again, kelp in the eddy, as I like to call it. Actually, one of my students calls it that, and he just had a baby. Every time I do kelp in the eddy, I think of Dave. Let's go ahead and roll the other way one more time. And come all the way back into center. So when we were seated, and you're welcome to return back to seated to do this again, we did a thing where we were working our transverse abdominis. We were drawing in with the abdominal muscles. We took the hands back behind us and we hinged to about a 45-degree angle. And then we came back up, right? So options for this. We're moving into balancing pose, no surprise with our theme this morning about equanimity. So you might have both hands stay on your chair, and you can just watch me first and then we'll do it together. And then we're going to take one leg back behind us. So now for some of us, it's just going to stay right there, just like it was when we were up on our tiptoes. For some of us, we're going to begin to tip the upper body forward. Some of you might even come toward a 90-degree angle. And maybe one hand comes back behind you, like in flying Dikasana pose, or maybe both hands come back behind you, right? So, or you can hold onto your chair. So another option for this pose is to have both hands on your seat back, so that you're starting from more of a tabletop pose here. And then same idea, one leg comes back, maybe the big toe on the earth, maybe lifts up a little bit, maybe it lifts up halfway, maybe it comes all the way up, maybe one arm stretches out, or maybe both arms stretch out, right? It's pretty hard to do both arms. So you can choose which is better for you, higher or lower, for your variation of Warrior 3 pose, Dikasana. Dikasana is actually wild goose pose. So when you do this pose with your wings back, it turns into goose pose, which I think is appropriate because our geese are starting to head home again in this fall equinox time. So find Tadasana first. I'm going to turn and face you. So find your inner sense of equilibrium. You're drawing your inner thighs toward that center midline. Go ahead and bring the hands up prayer at the heart. And imagine that where the hands meet is a center invisible midline that runs through you. That is your sense of center in your body. And as we move into our balancing poses, what we do is we bring more of that center of the body over the standing leg so that we have a little more lightness on the leg behind us. So I'm going to move my chair to the side of in front of me, but hopefully your chair is right here. And let's go ahead and shift the weight over into that left leg. Maybe your left hand is holding onto your chair or both hands holding onto your chair. And we're going to take that right leg back behind you. So I'm just going to turn aside so you can see, but you're hinging here, taking that right leg back behind you. We're all doing this together now. Maybe it's coming a little bit higher. Maybe it's lifting a little more. Find that Virabhadrasana 3. Maybe one hand stretches out or back behind you, or both hands stretch back behind you. And just work your balance here. So core is strong. Your inner sense of center, your inner sense of resilience is strong. As you balance on one leg, take one more breath. Long inhale. And slow exhale as you slowly return yourself back to standing. Finding Tadasana one more time. Anybody has any questions about these poses, feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions if I'm not being clear, if my internet is having glitches or problems. Let's come back to Tadasana, come back to your strong, aligned, standing sense, drawing in maybe hands coming in prayer at the heart, finding that intention, that word that helps keep you aware of finding balance for yourself. And then second side, last side, we're going to shift the weight over now to that right leg, to the chair seat. And then let's take that left leg back behind you. Maybe the toe stays on the earth. Maybe the heel begins to lift up any amount. So hips and shoulders are squared to the front of your chair. Maybe one hand stretching out or coming back behind you, your choice. Virabhadrasana 3 or variation into goose pose, Dikasana. Take one more slow, sweet inhale. One more long exhale. And then slowly rise, coming all the way up. Arms stretching up and then bringing hands back in prayer at the heart. Nicely done. From here, we're going to move into the hips a little bit. So again, options. Higher option is the chair in front and nice. Second option is to turn that seat so that you're a little lower and your legs are nice and wide. So decide for yourself whether you'd like to be higher or lower. And we're going to spread the legs at least 3 feet out in front of you. And then let's go ahead and bring your hands to your seat or hands to the back of your chair. Take the legs nice and wide. Think of your hips K, wherever K went. There she is. She just had her head down, that's why. And we're just going to bend one knee, bring your weight over into one knee if this is appropriate for your knees and hips. And then we're going to come back into center. We're going to exhale, bend the other knee. Come back into center. I'm going to show you what I'm doing without my chair. So imagining my chair was here, I'm bending one knee. Coming back into center. This is called Skandasana. Skanda is the god of war, but we're trying to find balance, right? So in between war and peace, finding that place of contentment, find that place of ease. On your next time coming over to your left, go ahead and stay there. I'm just going to bring my chair back. So you're bending that left knee, coming into a deep stretch, opening up that inner groin, opening up the inner thigh. Come on back into center. Second side, last side. Bend into that right knee, stretching that whole inseam of the left leg. And come on back into center. From here, we're going to begin to fold forward. So I'm just going to show you from the side. So my legs are really wide here. And then you're folding forward. Some of you might leave your head lifted. Some of you might come down to your forearms. Some of you might even be able to touch the earth and bring the forehead to your chair. Some of you might not want to use a chair at all. And just fold forward in Pasarita Padottanasana, intense spread out foot pose. So finding any amount of forward folding that is appropriate for your body. Anybody who wants to play with Skandasana, you're welcome to bend one knee, come back into center, bend the other knee, come back into center. So same thing we were just doing, except now you're doing a deeper version. If you feel dizzy or off balance, you're welcome to come up early or anytime. Come on back into center, one more breath. And then all the way, walking the hands all the way back up. Rising. Exhale. And then let's go ahead and walk the feet back into center. We're going to come down to seated. Well, the sun came out at my house. I don't know about for you all, but that was nice that our sun salutations actually did what we wanted them to do. They brought out the sun for a moment. One glorious moment. So we're going to go ahead and take the, if you had a block, you can move it to the side of your chair here. And then let's gently just go ahead and come right to seated. So usually we do our chair pose before we sit down, but just sitting down with grace and ease. And we're going to take the knees wide one more time. If you have a block, let's go ahead and bring that block into what would be the center of your chair or the center of your mat here. Or a stool works, or a stack of books, or whatever you've got. And then let's open up the knees and the hips here. So you might rock a little side to side. And so now there's that oblique movement of helping stretch up to the side body and back up. And this has a hip opening component where I'm using my backs of my hands to push the knees open. If your knees and hips do not are sensitive and don't want any pressure, you can always have hands on the back side where you're not doing any pushing or opening of the hips, but you're doing this side-to-side action. And let's see if we can come back to our balanced breath. So exhaling down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. If hands are on the inside, exhaling, 1, 2, so it's slow, 3, slow breath, 4, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time each side, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put hands on top of the thighs and let's lift and lower the heels down. So just a little lift and lower here. If you'd like some extra stretch for your upper body and extensor muscles, take the arms really wide, draw the ribs in. I always think of this as like a spider, and I don't know why. You know, you'd need 2 more arms and 2 more legs to be a spider, but just in case. And then next time you lift your heels, take the arms all the way up. And on an exhale, on a 4 count, lower heels and arms. So exhale, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nicely done. Let's go ahead and heel toe those knees all the way back in, those feet all the way back into center. We're going to take our block in between the feet, or just have the feet, you could take 2 fists and put them in between your knees as a nice measurement for how far the knees want to be apart, so they're more or less hip distance apart and the feet are right under the knees. You're welcome to leave that there, or if you have a block, you can put it in between your knees for our bridge pose. So from here, we're going to inhale, lift the head and the chest, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together. If you have the availability, you're going to step into your feet, lift your buns off of your chair and rise up, lift the head up toward the sky. Take one more slow breath. Exhale slowly, come all the way back down to seated. Let's do it again. Squeeze shoulder blades together, lift the heart, rise up, step into your feet, lift the feet up, not the feet, excuse me, the hips up, one more full breath. And exhale, come on, sit on down. Only one more to do, Jackie. I'm so glad you made it because we do 3 in a row for Jackie, and here she is, our girl. Lift the heart, lift the shoulders, lift the hips, rise up. One more time, bridge pose, long, deep, full breath. And then exhale, sit it on down. Ah, nice. Let's go ahead and take that block off to the side. I'm going to come much closer to my screen so that we can do a few more detailed poses here, moving into equilibrium. So starting off with the shoulders one more time as you roll them around, and then extend the arms out. Bend through the elbows and moving eagle pose. Let's swoop that right elbow over the left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale up. Exhale down, give yourself a hug. And then come forward gently. I see that I'm having internet glitches, so thank you for just continuing to stay in the pose until the technology catches up with me. And let's inhale and rise up, take off your sweatshirt, roll it up, and then exhale, big breath out. Oh. Last side, last arm. So take the arms open, bend elbows. This time left on top of right, swoop them around. And inhale, lift elbows up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down, give yourself a hug. One more time. Fold forward just a little bit, stretch and open the shoulders. And then bring the elbows up, rise all the way up. Exhale on a big out breath. Okay, my friends, good news. Those of you who like to recline, go ahead and find your way to your back. If you like to lay down for Shavasana, those of you who like to remain seated, welcome to remain seated. If you had a block and you like to get that block maybe back behind you to help you sit up a little more straight, you're welcome to do that. Or you could always put it in between the knees if you have the knees tend to fall open or apart. And we're going to settle in and find a little inner equanimity, right? So
can I give really a message from Susan that Miss Moody is out of the hospital?
She went to the hospital?
She had a hip replacement. And
she's returned, right?
No, that was a message from Susan.
Okay, yes, so I was going to say that at the end of class, but we will also acknowledge that. Thank you, Jackie. Now, so hooray for Ms. Moody. We're going to send her a lot of good thoughts for her recovery as she joins the hip club. And so hopefully from the joy and the equanimity of your hips, sending that out. Hopefully your hips are doing well today. So I am doing a mudra that is a mudra of balance. So often it is the left hand is underneath and the right hand comes on top. And then the thumbs touch as if they were going to hold just a piece of paper in between the hands. This is a mudra that is often used by meditators because it asks you to stay mindful of your hand gesture even as you are breathing. with the body in balance. We're going to come back to our slow Samavritti breath that we've been practicing all morning. So you might soften or close your eyes and soften all the tension out of the body. We're going to allow the breath to come back to that slow, rhythmic, and balanced place. So exhale all your breath. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let your shoulders relax and your hands come in your lap. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to put retentions in our breath. So we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. At the top of your in-breath, hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out. So hold it out on empty. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in. 1, 2. Keep holding. 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it out on empty. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last round. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And letting the breath return back to neutral now. That last pattern we did is called the square for obvious reasons. And then just let yourself come into that deep place of balance, of equanimity. Relaxed and at ease and yet present. Let's move into a few quiet moments of Shavasana, relaxing your body, your mind, your heart, and letting your breath be neutral. And let yourself have 1 or 2 more slow cycles of breath. And then return back to that word or that intention that you said at the beginning of your practice, that thing that helps you personally to maintain your inner sense of balance. And then see if you'd like to leave that intention here in your chair. Or maybe it might be helpful to take it into your day and to continue that practice as you move through life. Let's let the hands come in prayer over the heart, again with an equal balance, pressure, right hand and left hand, finding that centered midline of the body. So may our bodies be in balance and our minds be in balance, and our hearts be in balance. May the whole world come into balance again. Thank you for practicing with me and each other this morning. Namaste. So I'm going to stop recording now, and then I'll be around for a little bit of time here. And you're welcome to say hello if you'd like.